Now, I don't know about you, but I am a fan of spoons. They are a solid utensil for consuming things with a small, bowl-like surface that fits right into your mouth. The perfect size for eating something like cereal or soup, or even stirring things like your hot cocoa as you go through the cold winter months. But if there's one person that loves spoons more than me, it's gotta be Salad Fingers. That's right, one of those creepy figures of YouTube lore. Salad Fingers has shaken people to their very core for years. But why is this green humanoid thing so obsessed with spoons? Well, today, I'm going to dive deep into this series and find out why there is such an obsession with spoons. Hey guys, my name is DJ, and today, in honor of episode 11 coming out of Salad Fingers, and because I asked if you guys wanted it on Twitter, and you guys said yes, we asked the question, why does Salad Fingers love spoons? Now when I say there is a weird obsession with spoons, I mean it. Even the first episode is named Spoons. In that same first episode, Salad Fingers even says that it's orgasmic.
The feeling of rust against my salad fingers is almost orgasmic.
So what is it that creates this love for these beautiful utensils? Well, what if I told you that it directly links to another love of this character? So, it is clear that what Salad Fingers truly loves is rusty objects. Things like rusty taps or even rusty spikes. But what if that rust is meant to symbolize something darker? Something that could explain a lot of the elements in this creepy series? What if it's all a symbol for heroin? Now, hear me out. Even I thought it was ridiculous when I created this theory, but when you think about it, it does make a lot of sense. So, Salad Fingers, the series, not the person, is definitely full of hidden meanings. Meanings that, when come together, create a story. But if you look at it, it is a story about family. Don't believe me? Go back and watch episode 4, Cage, where it's pretty obvious that Salad Fingers, the mother of the child in this series, literally disappears out of this monster's, or should I say child's, life. Now why do I say Salad Fingers is representing a mother and not a father or some other family member that just so happened to leave this child? Well, first off, Salad Fingers does lactate early on in the series, suggesting she is a very recently pregnant mother. But also, this creepy character who we assume is a baby is literally the reason why. Heroin has been known, in some cases, to cause birth defects in children when the mother uses it while pregnant. Okay, DJ, I can hear you asking, but why specifically heroin? There are plenty of other drugs that cause this sort of phenomenon. Well, I'll tell you. So first, just to get the most obvious one out of the way, let's go back to when I said that she loves rust. I believe that this rust is a representation of the drug. Well, first off, heroin and rust do have a kind of similar color. Look, they both have this brown and dark orange-ish color scheme to them. Now I know that that's not solid proof or anything, but I just wanted to mention it because I thought it was pretty interesting. Anyways, let's move on to my real points. According to my research and not real recreational use, this is all stuff online. You can Google it, okay? I'm not a drug guy. Clearly, I'm not a drug guy. Anyways, according to my research, the effects of long-term use of heroin include insomnia, collapsed veins for people who inject the drug, damaged tissue inside the nose for people who sniff or snort it, infection of the heart lining and valves, swollen tissue filled with pus, constipation and stomach cramping, liver and kidney disease, lung complications, mental disorders such as depression and antisocial personality disorder, sexual dysfunction for men, and irregular menstrual cycles for women. Now we can knock 2 of these effects off the list because quite frankly it doesn't really pertain to Salad Fingers, at least based on the knowledge that we have created for this theory. The first thing would obviously be sexual dysfunction for men because, as stated earlier, Salad Fingers is a woman. The second thing that we can knock off of this list is damaged tissue inside the nose, but more on that later. But for every single one of these effects, I do believe that there's an argument to be made for our favorite green monster. Now, most of these are just kind of first glance suggestions you could get from the physical appearance of Salad Fingers. For insomnia, she clearly has dark circles around her eyes, suggesting exhaustion or tiredness. Collapsed veins are seen in her arms with the little wrinkles. Lung complications describing her weird breathing. And I think you could lump in stomach cramping because you could take this stomach ache in episode 11 as her in pain from taking the drug, but more on that in a maybe later episode. Antisocial action and depression is definitely shown in episodes like Picnic. Now, it is sad that we can't really get a look inside Salad Fingers, but I think there is a case to be made for a lot of these, just by general pain that Salad Fingers always sort of seems to be in. Now, I know that you've been watching this for so long, you might be thinking, but what does this have to do with spoons exactly? And ladies and gentlemen, that is the correct question. If we go back to the famous quote of episode 1 of Salad Fingers, she says,
I like rusty spoons.
Then you'll see that she definitely said rusty spoons. And if we go by the knowledge that we've already talked about, she does have a thing for rust, or heroin as we've sort of been calling it throughout this episode. And what exactly is a very popular way for people to inject heroin? By mixing it all up in spoons. And it even makes so much sense. Why would Salad Fingers have all these holes or needle marks in her arms? Why else would Salad Fingers cry out a lot or get really emotional, which is another effect of heroin? Why else would Salad Fingers look really skinny and not really eat anything, which again is another effect of heroin? You kind of lose your appetite. And why else would Salad Fingers have these orgasmic emotions of joy to rust or rusty spoons? It's because Salad Fingers is actually addicted to heroin. And not only that, but I think adding this element of her being addicted to heroin creates a very interesting story. A dark story talking about addiction, but since episode 11 has come out, I think that episode has created a more uplifting and positive version of someone trying to escape their addiction. But my dear viewer, if you want to see my story on how I believe this theory really pertains to the full story of Salad Fingers, you're gonna have to figure that out in the next episode. Yes, I know that is such a cliffhanger, but I just can't fit it all in one video without it just seeming too long or too convoluted. So, for part 2 of this Salad Fingers rabbit hole, we will dive back in and, with this new knowledge, try to create a new story around our favorite green monster and figure out what that story is trying to say. And to think, this new story, this new idea, this new theory that we could have been overlooking the entire time all came from a spoon. Anyways, that's gonna have to be the end of this video here. Did you guys like it? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of my over-analytic and dorky content, why not check out this video here? And while you're staring at this outro screen, why not click this little subscribe button? Anyways, hope you have a good day, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye! Yo.